Good afternoon and welcome to Fantasy Forecast for, what is today? Thursday? I think it's Thursday, October 27th, 2016. It is Season 2, it is Episode 2. I didn't do an episode yesterday because, guys, it's opening day. It's the first effing day. Now, the very first day with the short slate and $1 million prize, I get it. You can win $200 on first place. They were giving out free entries. Yeah, you guys want to get an entry, and I got that. So I did a video. Today is actually what I would have been episode 1. And the reason why we would have done episode 1 today, other than they're having a massive prize and free entries a couple of days ago, was basically along the lines of you need to have at least one game of data. And by that I mean you need to see if it's the first quarter, the second quarter, and of every single game. If you haven't watched replay, well, you're either casually playing fantasy and depending on guys like me to follow it for you, or, on the flip side of that, you've got other issues that are going on. Now, the reason why this is shaky right now, guys, is my tripod broke when I was filming the episode, actually right after I finished it the other day. So, I will be doing this by hand for the moment. And it's not the ideal position you want to really be in to do this, but, you know, it is what it is. So, I'm going to go ahead and run through the lineup that I've selected for today. I don't have optimals yet set up for Season 2. Now, if you guys go back and look at previous videos, you guys can figure out quite easily what providers I used, which ones are free, especially the ones towards the end of the season at the end, because a lot of them try to change policies towards the end of the season. Respective of that, there's Daily Fantasy Cafe, there's Daily Fantasy Nerd, RotoQL will still let you get a free one, I believe, and they're going to be based on just one game of data, if you do it properly. But that's all we have to go off of. If you can factor for the blowout factors, some games were blowouts and some weren't, and, you know, so the minutes might be adjusted in those type of situations, especially in the fourth quarter, but, you know, play it based on a closer game if the Vegas spreads say it's going to be a closer game, or play it based on a blowout if you just know it's going to be a blowout personally, / Vegas says it's a blowout. You can get your Vegas lines at vegasinsider.com. It's the best place to just run them for free real fast and see what the over-unders and totals and stuff like that. There's a bunch of places, but I look for a free place and a place that updates quickly. Alright, let's get on a little bit with today. Guys, until we have 5 games of data down, I'm not going to be running projections from the other providers because they don't properly run unless we have 5 games of data. So we're looking at the first week to go by. Now, I'm going to keep filming for each day past that, but you have to realize there's a caveat. I mean, none of you guys should be betting the farm this first week. You can't really have, this is my lock lineup right now, because you don't know what their minutes are going to be. Someone's just going to be hot or cold on the threes, and let's be honest, it's a lottery ticket, okay? So, play smart, gentlemen. Gentlewomen. There's mostly men, but irrespective. You play your $1 or $2 50-50 games. Sharks don't jump in anything that's like, you know, unless it's 10 or higher. You know, stay at the 5 or below. And same thing with tournaments. Tournaments, if you can I understand if you have to play the biggest dollar. I get where you're coming from, guys. So, you know, do what you have to do on that count. But play single entries where the pros don't have 45 entries against you. Or 60, or whatever the number is. Believe me, they've run their combinations. They know how much it costs. To them, it's like doing trifecta boxes or, you know, superfecta boxes at the racetrack. If you're smart, and you can see I pulled a winner on this earlier on this channel, I mean, you can pick the right combinations, just select them all, and end up winning a big jackpot. And that's exactly what these guys do, okay? Don't be fooled. Play smart, play intelligent. And I'll explain my choices here on each one. But don't take them as locks, gentlemen. What I want you guys to do on this, even though, I mean, this is a lineup that I'm going to run today, but irrespective of that, you know, think about what I'm saying here. And if you think a game is going to go a different way because you've been watching basketball and you've got more knowledge than even I do, gentlemen, I'm not watching any particular team a lot, and, you know, so if you watch, you know, Portland, or the Clippers, or, you know, the Kings, or the Spurs, or the Bulls, or the Celtics, you know, any of these guys, you know, the Hawks, the Wizards, you name it, it doesn't matter. Take your pick. If you, any of these guys, you know, if you know, then override what I'm saying here. Criticize this lineup in the description. Absolutely. If you see something wrong with it, start discussing with other people. See if something can be better for you guys. All right? So let's get on to today's lineup. All right. Zoom in again here. At point guard, we got Lillard and Lawson. Now, Lillard is one of those things where it's like, look, you got three good guys, and then it drops precipitously down to Isaiah Thomas. Now, if you think Isaiah Thomas or Rajon Rondo is going to have like the game of their life today, override me for sure. Go with Isaiah, go with Rondo. But I don't see anything particularly compelling in their cases that will show us that it'll be Anthony Davis of yesterday or James Harden of yesterday, you know, almost 100 points apiece, fantasy-wise. It's just insane. Your three choices today are Paul, Wall, and Lillard, the 9,000-plus choices. Now, Paul and Wall haven't played yet, and Lillard put up almost 55 the other day. I don't think he's going to do the same again today, but if he gives up 45, a 5 times value to get you to 300 is fine for cash. Okay, moving on for our second pick, Ty Lawson. And that's just on a matter of minutes. It's because Collison is still out. Collison, they were hoping he was going to start the season. He hasn't started the season, and that's where you're going to see your minutes, okay? So, Jake Lawson for a cheaper value to pick up, you know, a few fantasy points today. You know, go for 5-6 times value. It's smart. Moving on to shot guard position, I would go cheaper today, guys. I don't think Wade's worth the 7,000. I could be wrong. I don't think McCollum's worth the 6,900. Again, I could be wrong. I know Beal ain't worth the 6,200. God, watch him put up 40 and everyone just scream at me in the comments. But I don't think so. And Anthony Bradley. I think from there, yeah, he put up 34 the last time. I think you might even see him do more today. I think he might do a 38 or 40. He's been utilized a lot more when you've been watching him. They're putting the ball in his hands, and that's kind of what matters. If they want him to shoot, and it seems like they're giving him that opportunity and basically telling him, go shoot, then I want to have him. Same thing happened with Ginobili. I mean, granted, he just seemed to make his shots for the 23 minutes he put down for the Spurs, but I think Pop is relying on him just a little bit more with Duncan gone. So I've got Ginobili in the second slot. Let's go ahead and cancel changes. Let's move on to our shot guard position. We've got Kwame Leonard and we've got Jay Crowder. Kwame Leonard, don't even think about it. I mean, on the last time I even said, you know, he's a good pick. Against Sacramento, he's an excellent pick. He will probably do similar to what he did before. So yeah, you're looking at a 50-point fantasy-wise performance for only 8,200. Take it and run it to the bank. We got Jay Crowder. You look at his game log, 29 minutes, 21 points, which is why it was pretty amazing, right? So, and that was against the Nets, and the Bulls are probably going to run them a bit better than that. But only 5,500, I really think you're looking at an excellent value there. I think you're going to see yourself pulling another 30 points today, maybe 28, but I mean the value is there. You want 5 times for cash, and that's the point. Moving on, your power forward positions today. I have you at Millsap and Aldridge. This is a position to spend up at. I think Millsap is in a wonderful position, and I think Aldridge is in a great position as well. Both of them have weaker defenses for their position and should basically give up points along with a couple of those other statistical categories that we all love. To round out the portfolio today, we've got Horford at center. Horford is your cheaper choice. Let me go ahead and pull into what the choices are today, actually, so you can, because I saw a couple others. I know what you don't want to do is spend up on Cousins. Cousins just seems too pricey today for what he did the other day in the minutes and everything else. And look at that fantasy point performance. There's only one game, so we can just look at the average. $9,800 for 33 points. Would you pay that? I don't think so. DeAndre Jordan, if he does his average at 8,000, that's actually a good bargain, especially on a high-scoring game. And you can consider DeAndre Jordan today. I wouldn't go Howard or Gasol. I'd skip both of those at those prices in the 7,000 level. If you're going to spend up above Horford, go for Jordan. But if you have the money, you know what I mean? And you don't think Horford will be there. But I think Horford's going to have himself a good game today. I think 35 fantasy points is not out of the question, probably right about where he's going to run. And, I'm looking for 5 times value. The game has gotten tighter, guys. I mean, with more and more players running every day, you start looking at yourself like, what do I do and how do I make the money? And so, cheaper choices, You can look at Plumlee if you think he's going to get the minutes, but if not, Dedmon is the big man in San Antonio because Gasol doesn't have the blocking. So, you know, you take Dedmon as a cheap choice at center, and he's going to give you some points if you need to go cheaper and save some cash. Or consider Zeller, who actually did very well in his opening debut, not higher than anyone suspected because he's still playing close to minimum, and this is another good place you can punt. I don't think center is going to be integral today, guys. I think the lineup is going to be made or broken on the rest of the positions. So if you decide, you know, I need someone more expensive than Ty Lawson at point guard, or I don't want Bradley or Ginobili or whatever, and you spend up, drop down on your center position today, guys. It's going to make more sense. Okay, I hope you guys all enjoyed today's second episode of the season. Doing my best here, you know, since we don't have 5 games of data, and I started the last season mid-season. But so, for Season 2, on your opening thing, and remember, play light, gentlemen, and feel free to override me and mention it in the comments. Please. Also, if you need to, and you don't follow, subscribe on Twitter. I do run last-minute changes on the default lineup there. You know, I post it if I'm going to make a change or anything like that. And I do post notifications on there when, you know, the new videos are up. So, and you'll hear about all my everything else that I might complain about. Not too much politics, guys. I try to keep that out of it. All right, gentlemen. So, to finish out today, point guard. I'm taking Lillard and Lawson. Shot guard, I'm taking Bradley and Ginobili. I think today's the day to spend down at shot guard position. Small forward, I've got Leonard and Crowder. At power forward, I've got Millsap and Aldridge. And to round out at center, I've got Al Horford. All right, gentlemen, I'll show you guys the score on this tomorrow once I've got another lineup posted. Hope you enjoyed today's second episode of Season 2. Thank you so much for watching. Go on out there and please go win some money. Post me a winning picture. Goodbye, gentlemen.